Listen to me. This video is not for views. It's not for likes. This is just a plea from me to you guys. Understand that social media is what it is. It's entertainment. It's not real life. All right, so it is Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. And I recently just came across a tweet that the popular blogger Jason Lee just put out saying that social media ruined hip hop. And I can't agree more. Now, I know what he's talking about with the whole Twitter beefs and all that stuff, which the parties that were involved, they did reconcile and everything is all good. But I want to take it a little bit further, especially with production and just artists in general and the type of music being made and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Bolo! All right, before we get started with the video, let's go ahead and give a big shout out to Arcade by Output. If you guys do not have Arcade, you're really like doing yourself a disservice. You need to go ahead and get Arcade by Output because it is one of the dope tools to use if you cannot come up with melodies, or if you just need some ideas to get your beat started, or for you just to use everything that's in Arcade to create a whole track. Arcade is the ultimate cheat code. I've already done videos on this already before and made a beat with it with you guys. I'm telling you right now, if you need to get your beats going the way they need to go, if you need textures, if you need sounds, if you need anything, I'm telling you, go ahead and click the link in the description and get you an account with Output and get you Arcade. I'm telling you, it is the best money you will spend per month when you are trying to make beats, because literally, if I'm going through a funk and I need something, I know I can go to Arcade. And plus, all of you guys know all these vocal chops and everything come from Arcade anyway. So you hear it on all the records. You hear all of these different sounds and they all come from Arcade. Most of these people are using Arcade to complete pretty much 50% of their beats. We all know this to be a fact. So go ahead and click that link in the description and get you an account with Arcade by Output, and I promise you it will help your music career. All right, let's get to the video. So yeah, social media in hip hop. Now, to be honest with you guys, most of my big records have come from social media. Pretty much all of them have come from social media, and we didn't have to spend any money to get them going. It was just all kind of like a social media thing. And that's the good thing about social media. It's a great thing, because if you use it the right way, it can really help your business out. It can help your music career out. It can help out a lot of things in your life. It can get you through things. But if used the wrong way, it can really hurt you. And a lot of people are going through different things because of social media. And it's not just hip hop, but we're focusing on hip hop today. And one thing I can say is, with all the good that social media can bring, there's a lot of bad that it can bring too. And one thing that I have noticed is the lack of really good music. Now, to say I make the best music in the world is a lie. Now, you know, one of my biggest hits is Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. And like I told you guys before, when I first heard the song, when, you know, Silento brought it to me, I thought it was probably one of the worst ideas ever, but we pushed through it. But that song brought so much happiness to a lot of people. And it was used in a good way, even though it wasn't even the style of music I was making at that time. I was making more street music at that time. And that song changed my life, changed everything that's happened in the past 6 years of my life. But a lot of the stuff that's going on social media with hip hop is just not good. A lot of the stuff that is going on is really hurting the game, especially in hip hop. There's so many artists coming out, and basically it's kind of like the Wild Wild West right now. You can literally make a song and just upload it, put it on social media, and then that's it. There's no more gatekeepers to the community, which some say that's cool. But to me, I think that the process of making good music now is completely gone. And that goes for writers, artists, producers, beat makers, everybody, mixers, mastering engineers, all that stuff with social media has now diminished greatly in hip hop. Now, I know it's a few things going on with other genres of music, but I know hip hop because that's the only thing I know. But right now, even with the form of putting together good songs, is over. because you don't have anybody overseeing you right now. The only people that are overseeing you is people online, and they get to make all the decisions. Because if your audience loves it, your audience loves it, right? Now, you know, there's a video that I'm going to make a little further down the line discussing the point I'm about to bring up now, which is your audience loving it because that's what they see the most now? Are we just agreeing with what we see because now we have so much garbage out right now? There's a lot of stuff that just wouldn't work 15, 20 years ago. And maybe because I'm a little bit older and I've kind of went through a certain process of getting to this point. Or maybe some people might say some things are outdated and it's a new wave. But the more and more I notice, there's a lot of people that are just strictly trying to be popular on social media and are trying to just do whatever it takes to hurry up and rush and put stuff out to where things are not even in a solid order anymore. You got people who are willing to make a song, shoot a video that day, put the video out before you can even go buy the record. Come on, man, who does that? You mean you can put the song up on YouTube or whatever platform and you don't even have nothing in place for somebody to even purchase that record? They just have to play it on a YouTube video. Or you have some people who are in a rush to put it on social media that is not even mixed correctly. It's not mastered. So when you play it in certain places, certain clubs, it doesn't even sound good. Because everybody's in a rush because this whole social media has made a lot of this stuff a microwavable community, where you just pop something in and then it's done. But we all know that good home cooking that might take 2, 3, or 4 hours tastes way better than popping in something to the microwave that comes out in 3 minutes. It's convenient. A lot of this stuff is convenient. Even some of the stuff that I promote on my channel is convenient. All these places are good and they help you out. But at the end of the day, the music, the creation of the music, the plan behind the music has to be done correctly. Because if not, you're going to end up with another cycle of a song that comes out on a Thursday and is forgotten by that next Wednesday. Because we live in a microwavable society. And with living in that microwave society comes with a whole bunch of pressure to stay on top. A lot of these new artists now thinking that you have to beef with somebody. Even the producers now, mixing engineers, are beefing with each other. Hey, this is mind-blowing to me. And then they're putting everything out on social media. I remember back in the day was putting it out on wax, which if you had a beef with somebody and you want to put it out on wax, which was the records, or back in my time it was tape, but you know what it means. But it was a whole process. In order for a lot of beefs to go on back in the day, you had to get it approved by the record company, and it had to be a pretty decent song at that. Now, if you don't like somebody, you can go ahead and tweet it first, then make the song second. Or you can make the song first and then go on Instagram or go on Triller or go on to any of these other sites and make a video for it. And I think that's just crazy to me right now because everything is so easily accessible that people don't even think anymore or they don't even process what they're doing anymore. Like me, even when I make these cookie cutter songs, I know I've made some cookie cutter records. Don't get me wrong, because that was the genre I was in. I was dealing with a lot of kids under the age of 15. So if I was making a song, I was really making a song for kids that were 15 and under. So it was a certain way of me producing that. But I still took my time. If you notice with any song that I've done, even from the Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay, to even the Taylor Girls record, it was put together and we promoted it the right way to get where it was at. It still was a process. Even with Whip and Nay Nay, that song that was presented was the song that was done that night. But I still took it home. I still went through it first. And I still made sure we had a proper rollout on that record. You got to think, when that record leaked on SoundCloud, it didn't officially go on iTunes until February. And then the deal wasn't done until May of that year. We still built upon that song to get it to where it was at. Then the record label had something to work from it. Same way with the Taylor Girl, Still a Man. We did the record months before even releasing the record. We got the artwork done. I made sure that the mix was decent. Made sure that we had a rollout. We sat down and had a whole rollout with that. Then we released it. And then it did what it did. It wasn't something we just did and just popped it up online. We made sure that we did it the right way. And that's the way I've always came from, is always having some point of a timeline of doing things and making sure that we take all this stuff, all this energy, and we pipe it in this one pipe, and we shoot it all the way down to where when it comes out, it spreads the right way. Now, that's kind of a crazy analogy, but I hope you guys got what I was saying. You know, it's kind of like a pause moment, but you know. But what I'm saying right now is the way social media is being used right now is not being used the right way. I'm just being honest with you. And I'm trying to use my platform now differently. You know, I was making beats and everything, and I'm showing you guys tutorials, which there's so many tutorials out right now that I more or less want to use my platform to spark conversation. And for you guys to share these conversations and invite people in to understand what I'm trying to accomplish here. Because I'm not perfect by no means. Do not get me wrong. I'm not perfect by no means, but one thing I'm not controlled by is by the pressures of social media, which a lot of artists, a lot of producers, a lot of writers, a lot of beat makers, a lot of aspiring engineers are being soaked into and are using this the wrong way. Everybody can use this in a positive light. But if we try to sit here and scramble and try to put the first thing that we think about on social media, or if we get done with a song, we got to put the first version on there without making the corrections. Or if we make a beat, we got to put this out. Or, you know, I understand all that. Now, creating process, if you want to go ahead and go on live and you might want to create and show people your creation process, or you want to do some tutorials and stuff like that, even if you're good or not, that's good because people like to see that. But to go ahead and introduce your final project or your final product before it's really even done, that's not helping anybody. It's not even helping you. Now, in some cases, it does work out. Now, if you're somebody who is seasoned in the game and you're really good at what you do, it might work for you. But for the other 99.9% of the people out there who are doing this, who are not that seasoned, why are you in a rush? Why are you in a rush to put the first thing that comes in your head online? Why are you in a rush to just do anything that could potentially hurt you in the long run because of the pressures of social media? It does not have to happen like this. And we need to correct it. We all do. But now, as more and more people are understanding what social media is, and more people are on this, and more people are getting on this every day, we have to learn to utilize the tools the right way. And sometimes we have to learn that we don't have to rush just because you get this social media influence in you that you have to do it that way. You don't have to. So for all my musicians, entrepreneurs, and everybody, take your time. Don't let the pressures of this social media get you caught up in something that you don't want to get caught up in. I'm telling you. That's why if you see my platform, it's all positive. Even when people get negative, I still have a positive outlook on everything because this is what it's for. It's supposed to be a positive outlook. And what I mean by that is if your song is not ready yet, it doesn't mean you have to post it today. You can wait till next week. If your beats are not ready to post online, you don't got to do it. If your song's not mixed the correct way, you don't have to do it. Don't let this social media put you in a rut to where you feel like you have to rush and do things. If somebody says something about you on social media, about your mixes, or they don't agree with something that you don't agree with, that's cool. Doesn't mean you have to respond back. At the end of the day, we are still living a real life, and social media is not real. Okay? And do not let the entertainment fool you. You still got to work hard. You still got to do things the right way. And when you do that, success will come. Don't know how much success it will be, but success will come. So yes, do I agree social media has ruined hip hop? Yes. But can we get it back to where it was? We sure can, if we just take our time and do things the right way. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, Peace out.